Annville-Cleona hits the road to meet Columbia. Dutchmen want to stay close to the top of those Lenkleb standings, picking it up in the second half. Dutchmen on top, 21-zip. Columbia thinks they can get back in the game through the passing game. You see Cameron McClare there looking wide out to senior Quincy Stewart. That's good to move the chains. And then they going back over the top again. McClare dropping it right past the secondary into the hands of freshman classmate Artie Poindexter for the score. But it is not enough. Annville-Cleona did all their damage early. 34-7 is your final. Well, it seems like every week I stand here and try and come up with a new way to tell you just how good Manheim Township is this season. And it's just easier at this point if I just show you. The Blue Streaks out at Hempfield for a Lenkleb battle. Manheim Township might look small right about now, but, well, they're about to get bigger and a lot closer. Hayden Johnson putting it up for Landon Kennel. The senior wideout doesn't even break stride. Manheim Township in the driver's seat early. And Johnson and the Streaks are not done yet. Asher Wolf is going to snag this one and then just take off. He is eventually pulled down, but not before moving it into Black Knights territory. You might be looking at the sunset in the background, but Johnson definitely looking for Kennel again. These two combined for another score. Blue Streak still perfect after the 48-7 W on the road. Well, both Boiling Springs and Trinity are looking to bounce back after coming up short last week. Shamrocks on the move. Caleb Ray with the fade to Messiah Mickens, and they're just making it look easy as they go up 7-0. Ray really spreading it around. This time going to dump it off to Christian Boog Joy, and he is going to boogie for the end zone. 14-0 Trinity early in this one as he finds his way in for 6. Ray finishes with 5 touchdowns on the night. Trinity in control in all 3 facets of the game, and that includes special teams. Boog is back. Joy on the return now, and he's going to blow by everybody, and he is back in for 6. The Shamrocks are going to take this one 48-14.
Well, earlier we brought you some highlights from Harrisburg at Cumberland Valley. That's a game you could have watched in its entirety on Fox 43.2. Thanks to our friends over at High School Sports Live. They join us now to recap this mid-pen matchup. The offenses really pick up after halftime. Travis Sparks and Fort Chapman are on the call from start to finish.
Thank you, guys. With Fort Chapman, Travis Sparks, 42-7 the final tonight. Harrisburg over Cumberland Valley. A quiet first half, Coach, but then a kickoff return, and then Harrisburg just exploded after that.
Tell you what, junior signal caller, he's a 3-year starter, Sean Lee for Harrisburg, really stepped up in the second half, and he had some big targets to hit, and one of them was Quincy Brandon, and the other one, 3 touchdowns after that. Number 1, the 6'3" receiver,
Elias Koch, yeah, he was one of the players that we profiled early on. He had a quiet first half, 2 catches for 15 yards, but then exploded. 5 catches, 174 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was our co-player of the game with Sean Lee. Sean, he had a quiet first half as well. He only attempted 9 passes, completed 6 of them for 51 yards. The second half was a different story. Of the 9 passes he threw, he completed all 9 of them for over 300 yards. Just an explosion on offense for the Harrisburg Cougars.
And Sean Lee ran the ball several times for some big first downs, some big yardage to keep the Harrisburg drives alive. And the Calvin Everett's team really rebounding the last several weeks after losing to Manheim Township, and they're knocking on the door of another run at the district playoffs.
Cumberland Valley did play a great first half of defense. They played tough. Alex Salve and the entire team, they held Harrisburg scoreless on a couple of their drives in the first half. They played really well on defense. I mean, yes, they gave up some of the big plays, but you got to be happy with at least the first half of what they did tonight.
No doubt about it.
Next week, we've got a good one for you here on High School Sports Live on Fox 43.2. It's Central York and Dallastown. It'll be the second time we see Central York. We'll have them 3 times here on High School Sports Live. Thanks for joining us tonight. You can catch the game on hsslivetv.com and Fox 43.2.
All right, thanks to the guys for the recap. The Northern York students know Thursday nights are never bad for football as they welcome the Waynesboro Indians to town. Picks one up second half, all not up at 21. That's Cole Bartram. Gets the carry for the Polar Bears, bounces it outside, turns on the speed, and it's a 1-score lead. Final minutes, the Indians respond. Rayshon Hewitt hits Hayden Nolan in the flat. He takes it in to cut the lead to 1. Coach says it's all or nothing for the win. Indians go right back to the well. The 2-point conversion. Brian Benedict secures it in the end zone. Waynesboro wins a thriller, 29-28. Well, every time the Polar Bears take the field with their fresh white and purple jerseys, it's from a generous group of special needs students. And the Polar Bear family makes sure their hard work does not go unnoticed. More on that story when the frenzy returns.